Hi and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be making some melt and pour soap. Here is the design that I've drawn out. I don't think it's going to come out exactly like this. I think the hearts will most likely sink to the bottom line, but we'll see how we can go. So here's the idea. I've got 3 white hearts and these are different colors of pink. So I'm going to be using goat's milk. My fragrance is Love Spell, and I'm going to be using this heart mold, which is going to be the length of the mold. So in order to hold these molds up properly, I've made a little device here. It's not my design, but it works perfectly, and I'll have to actually lift the camera up so you can see it. So basically the molds slot in to these little sections and they hold it upright. I can hold 4 in here, but I actually only have 3 hearts. Okay, so I'm going to melt down this goat's milk. I'm going to pour into the molds, and then it's probably going to take around about an hour, maybe a little bit longer, for them to set before I can start to use them. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so my goat's milk is ready. It doesn't really matter what the temperature is because I'm not pouring it with another base. So I'm just going to pour it straight into these. Okay, so I'm going to leave this for about an hour and then I'll be back to cut them so that they fit perfectly in this mold. Okay, so these are definitely ready. Just going to take them out of this rack. Okay, so we have 3 white hearts. Okay, so I'm going to have to clean these up because you can see that they've got these little bits on top and on the ends. So I'll clean those up and I'll be back in a second. This is too long to fit inside. Okay, so what we've got is this edge here, which is nice and smooth, and the other edge, which is really terrible. So we're going to use this edge here and we're going to butt it up against the silicone mold. Then we're just going to make a small little line. And then I'm going to get the knife and just cut along that little mark. And we should be able to put this straight in there. There we go. Fits nice from one side to the other now. I'll just do that with the other 2 and then we'll be ready to go to the next step. Okay, so they're all cut and they should just be able to fit on top of each other. Yep, they fit. I really don't know how this is going to turn out. I've never done this before, and that's the fun part, really, isn't it? So as long as the layers bond together, everything should be fine. Okay, so each one of these is about 110 grams. So what I've got here is 330 grams on the scale. I've got to go and get 760 grams of goat's milk soap, and then I'll add a fragrance to it, and then I'll split it up into 3. Okay, so I've got 760 grams. Just a little bit more actually, just to make sure. And I'm going to melt this down and then we can start splitting them up. There is 760 grams of goat's milk here. And it's completely liquid. And now I'm going to add my Love Spell, which is 20 grams. I try to stick to 2% because I think it's strong enough in melt and pour. The melt and pour base really holds the fragrance. Okay, that seems all mixed in. So now what I've got to do is split these up into 250 gram lots. So I'll put my first container on there and set it back to 0. Okay, so the color I'm going to be using is Fandango Neon. So I'm going to use a little bit for this, but I'm also going to put it in some rubbing alcohol as well. So it's a little bit less than a quarter. Just use a paddle pop stick and mix it all in really well because mica tends to leave like little tiny clumps, depending on what mica you use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit to each one of these and try and get like a bright to a lighter color. So I don't know how well this is going to work. And then we'll mix that 3 in and see what we get. So that's a really, really, really pastel pink. So that would probably be good for the last one. So I might leave that one as it is because I like that pink. Okay, so this one now should be double this. And it kind of is. It's very misleading. I'm just going to have to wing this. I thought there would be some sort of method to this, but there's not. So that's the lightest one. Number 1, that's the top one. This one's going to be the middle, which is still not dark enough. It's still very pastel. And this one should be the bright one. Yeah, so that's gone brighter, but that's because I tipped it in. Still not, I'm getting there. There's a pastel range, so light, medium, and dark, but not enough to define a line. I need it to really pop. So that's good. We've got the 3 colors. So light, medium, and dark. I'm going to put them in the microwave for about 15-20 seconds and we're going to come back. Okay, let's see what that temperature is. So that is 140 currently, so it's a bit too hot to put it in with the embed. So I'm going to use some rubbing alcohol just to spray the top. And this is just to cool the soap. I need to cool it down a little bit at a time. So 135, okay. Okay, so that's now at 128, which is 53, and that's perfect time to pour. Okay, so I'm going to pick one of these hearts. I'm going to pour a little bit in because I don't want the heart to be sitting totally on the bottom, otherwise it will create a cavity. Okay, just going to spray that. Now I'm going to spray the heart. Okay, and then I'm going to put it in. Okay, spray that. It's just off from the edge. You can see it's just off from the edge. So the other one is going to be pointing this way. And then the final one will be pointing the other way. Just a little off perfect, but that's okay. You can just see it. There's a little bit of the heart poking through. So that's a perfect layer with that amount and that amount. Okay, so I've got to wait for this layer to set up. Now, because it is about 250 grams, it's probably going to take about 25 minutes. And this should be set up, and then I can put the second one in. So this layer is ready. It's a little warm, but that's okay. That's what we want. And I've melted down this already. It's 134, so it's sort of like within range. So I'm going to spray the previous layer. Pour a little bit in. Now the heart has got to sit this way, facing that direction. So I'm just going to spray the heart. Okay, and in it goes. Just going to make sure it stays where I want it to. For some reason it wants to move. There we go. Spray that again and pour the rest over the top. Spray that. Okay, so I think 20 to 25 minutes was a good amount of time for that. I'll be back to do the next one. Okay, so the base is at around about 135, and I don't mind that because it's going to merge quite nicely. So I'm just going to spray the top. Make sure to get it all. Oh no, which side was it on? Oh, should have checked that. I think it's that side, so this, oh, I hope so. Oh no, made a mistake. Okay, well, it wouldn't matter. I'm gonna put it in anyway. Oh, come on, really? Yeah, okay. So there we go. Hopefully that's the right side, otherwise, oh no, I'm gonna have to do all this again. Just trying to get it set in one spot so that I can tip the rest in. So spray the top. I don't know if that's sitting center or not. It looks like it's sitting center to me. It's actually moved over to the center. You never know with these things, you can't control them, so I can't change it now. I probably could, but then I'd mess it up. Yeah, I'd probably, I had to think about that for a second. I'll probably mess that up if it will spill everywhere and I'll just regret it. So I'm gonna leave it. Whatever happens is whatever happens. So I'll be back in the morning to unmold this and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so it's the next morning and I'm gonna unmold this and see what it looks like. I think I made a mistake with the third heart. I think I put it in the wrong way. We'll see. Okay, so there are 3 pink layers. I think they look pretty good. And I did 2. Oh no. So I've got one going the wrong way. It's meant to be pointing inwards. This one's right, and this one's wrong. Oh no. How is that possible? That's like moved over. I don't know. They're all pointing in the same direction though. So I guess that's pretty good. All right. Gonna mark this out and then I'll cut the bars and see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. I'm just checking for a good connection with the layers, and I'm seeing the top one hasn't got the best connection possible, but I still love that design. It looks really good. I'm happy with that. I thought I really did a number on it. This one at the bottom is meant to be pointing inwards. This one in the middle is meant to be pointing exactly where it is, and this one was meant to be pointing into the middle. Once you poured like the first layer, I didn't realize which way it was pointing. I just thought because I saw this little white piece at the top here that it was this side and it was actually pointing that way. I love the colors. Those colors really look good. And that pastel pink at the top is just perfect. So I think all these are going to be pretty much the same. Okay, so I think this turned out pretty well. I'm not exactly happy with the way that the hearts have turned out, but like I said, I would have liked the top heart to be pointing in and the bottom heart to be pointing in as well. But as it turns out, it's not too bad. I would probably try and change it for next time, but for this design, I really like it. And you know what? Because I've made that mistake, I can actually learn from it and put procedures into place so that it doesn't happen again. And next time I get the design that I want. Before I go, let me know in the comments what you think of these colors. Do you think they are correct, or should they have been brighter at the bottom and lighter at the top? What's your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.